Hello, and welcome to an episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wood, and I'll be your host, joined by my co-host, Donna Dunyan.
Hi, everybody.
Donna, for those that don't know, is the Executive Director at the Veterans Strong Community Center in Bristol.
Thank you very much.
And we do have some important announcements at the end of the show.
Yes, we do.
Coming up for the center. We have a group with us today. Actually, the organization's been here before, but we have brand new folks that have never been here before. It's an absolute honor for you to be here. It's the Guardians of the Purple Heart. And there's so much information that needs to be put out that we're actually going to have a two-parter. So this is going to be great. Seth is already laughing. You're in for a great time for these two shows. We are going to have a good time. Seth Sharp, he's a media relations and host of Cover Down podcast. Connecticut chapter, former U.S. Navy submarine first class petty officer.
Yeah, that would be great.
I got to tell you, not to go off script here, but I was on a frigate, and there is no way, and you know what, you're going to get me to get on a submarine.
Yeah, we have to take psychological evaluations.
And, I would have passed. I would have flunked.
That's how you get on submarine.
Yeah, that's.
So.
And joined with Seth is Monique Ransom. Monique is the Vice President of Guardians of the Purple Heart, the Connecticut chapter. Really want to welcome you both for being here. It's a great honor. Now, like I said, we've now military.
Correct.
I'm just a military spouse.
No, don't say just. Don't say just.
I am a military spouse.
Don't ever say just. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your service. Believe it or not, being a military spouse carries a lot of weight, and it's an honor to have you here. Thank you for everything you do and everything you put up with. So we'll leave that there. But thank you for being here. Donna, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Seth, for your service, and thank you to Monique for yours. Monique, who are the Guardians, and how long have you been with them yourself?
So Guardians of the Purple Heart, we are a 501c3 for Connecticut and Rhode Island. We just branched out into Rhode Island as well. And we work with Purple Heart recipients in the state that might need a little extra assistance and might not really be covered by the VA, or the government isn't able to step in due to red tape. That's kind of where we kind of pop up, and we try and fill those needs as best that we can. So in the past, that's been a mortgage payment, or a couple of those. It could be a heater, it could be demolition to the home, it could be whatever they need. And then I've personally been involved for about 3.5 years unofficially. So.
Unofficially, oh yeah. And when did Guardians of the Purple Heart start? It's a nationwide organization, or
we're just in Connecticut,
just
Rhode
in
Island.
Connecticut and Rhode Island? So when did they start?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. And Seth, how long have you been with them?
Well, I've been with the Guardians for, actually, I think we're approaching a year here very soon, or we just passed it. I joined last year directly after our recipient dinner.
Oh,
so I've been with the organization for a year now.
Okay.
Now, you said in the past we've had Doug here. Once again, butchering last names. Doug C.
Doug Capazzi.
Capazzi, there we go. The viewers all, they're laughing on their
They're
couches.
used to it.
Yeah, Chuck always butchers names. Yeah, so he's moved on to be the...
So since we established a second chapter, hopefully with 48 more to come, he has moved on to the role of CEO for the organization. So looking over both chapters, making sure that we're doing the best we can to be able to provide our services to Connecticut and Rhode Island, and hopefully branch out to the rest of New England and the rest of the United States.
Now, I was going to ask you where you're located. So there's actually is there two separate locations?
Yes, there are two separate locations. So, I mean, we cover the entirety of Connecticut. We're more located in the New London area, if you will, where Rhode Island is the same thing. They're a little bit closer to us. I can't remember the more specifics on where they operate out of, but they cover the entire state as well.
Yeah. I'm just trying in the back of my head, trying to remember some of the conversations we had when Doug was here, as far as, a lot of the stuff.
I don't think I co-hosted with you when Doug was here.
Yeah.
You remember.
Oh, I met Doug at other events, but I don't think I was here when co-hosting with you when you had him here.
Yeah, it might have been Megan. He was actually here a few times. So
Yeah.
it's great to be giving you guys, the exposure again here, because it's great for the viewers to, know about this organization.
We appreciate it a lot.
You do so much. Now, what made you want to join the Guardians?
Well, funny thing is that actually Nick and I worked together for about 3 or 4 years on shore duty. And when I got out, I found myself kind of lost in space in the civilian world, and I needed to kind of get back to the roots that I grew up in, which was the Navy, and the people that I grew up with. So I decided to come out to last year's recipient dinner, and I was entirely moved by the level of charity and heart that this organization was able to provide to the community and to a Purple Heart recipient. And I was captivated and decided I wanted to join, and I have been full throttle since then. With this organization, I love every bit of it.
I was going to ask you, why is the mission important to you? But I think you just covered it.
Yeah, I mean, it's important for a lot of reasons. I like to view veteran community services as a twofold thing. One, it's great to be able to strive for something that's greater than yourself, right? Helps with a lot of healing that you might need to do on your own. So we're helping the community, but it's also great for the individual that's volunteering. So to be able to go out and have something to achieve and strive for with that same community that you were working with for so long, you get all the best parts about the military and none of the bad parts about it.
Yeah.
So it's important to me for multiple reasons, not just helping the community, but helping myself as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of what we do.
That's what we do.
I mean, this show started in 2013 with the mission of providing exposure to all the organizations that do things for veterans. Exposure that in the past, and even currently, they don't get as much as they should. There's a lot of organizations out there, the folks out there, and quite frankly, we've never heard of.
Yeah.
It's great to get them here, and it gives them the exposure that they so much deserve. And that's what the mission's been for us. So it's rewarding for us. I mean, we're all volunteers here. We come out each and every time, and it helps us all out.
Yeah. Monique, what prompted you yourself to join?
When I met my husband, he was pretty active in it himself. He kind of had me tagging along and starting in some events, volunteering and just hanging out. And after sitting with all of the people and meeting the crew and seeing what we do and how we get involved in the community, it warms your heart. Like you're saying, you guys bring attention to these different organizations while bringing the attention to the people, for us that really might need that help. And a lot of times are just so nervous to ask for it, or it's hard. It's hard to accept that you need some help or you're in a tough spot. And I don't know, just being able to kind of step in and sit with them and let's talk about it. Let's figure out what we can do and let's make it better. And
You just touched on something that we deal with all the time, especially as veterans.
yeah.
Veterans are a very private group,
Yes.
and let's call it what it is. I mean, a lot of us are tough nuts to crack. Need help? No, I don't need help.
Yeah.
No, we're the helpers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always running into the problem versus running away.
Correct.
And after it's all, the dust settles, you just go about your business. Well, you're human beings and you can't do that. So we've dealt with this over the years on this show, trying to give exposure, trying to get those veterans out there to come forward and let them know that there is help out there. And 9 times out of 10, actually 99.99% of the time, it's confidential. So by stepping forward, no one knows. And of course, I mean, it helps you at the end of the day. And for us, it's nice to know. I'm sure we've had some success stories out there. We have no idea.
Yeah.
People that we've touched by doing this show. But what you said about veterans not going out, they don't want to. No.
Yeah.
Now there's,
You got to force them sometimes.
I always tell the veterans that come into the center that this is just one snippet of your life. Don't put judgment on yourself for one little period of time when you have a lifetime of service and commitment and having it all together. This is just one snippet of your life, and don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself, and let others help you through it.
You've earned that help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over and over and
Yeah.
over again. Now, your husband serves where?
He's in the Navy.
Navy?
Yeah.
No, we got to.
Yeah, they actually
All
served
Navy?
together.
All Navy.
We and Nick Ranson and I actually we served together for I think Nick, right? It was almost 4 years. So actually, I was his LPO at one point in time, his leading petty officer, his boss, and now he's my boss. Except I'm actually forced to work now, so I still don't get paid.
That kind of, I guess we could say this word on air. That kind of sucks.
Yep. It's a good role reversal. He's fallen into the world quite well. So
It keeps everybody in check.
he does. He does.
Well, just the fact that you got to work now. That was wrong. I know.
Well,
It's
Lord knows I didn't work when I was on shore duty. So
shore duty. What was that? I was always days gray and underway.
So you mentioned some of the things you do to give back is cover some financial expenses like mortgage payments, electric payments. Do you ever go in and do like projects if they have minor repairs, or do you have a group of volunteers that can do like handyman type of work for them? Or do you stay away from that?
So our primary goal is to help combat wounded veterans within the state. So whatever their needs are.
Okay.
So those needs are going to change from veteran to veteran. If that's the case, we have a slew of people, an entire network of individuals that are supportive to the cause or supportive to the organization that are willing to come help us if need be.
Okay.
If it is for something like that. But to kind of wrap that up all together, it's not only what we do. If any veteran at any point in time has a need, regardless if they're a combat wounded veteran or not, they can come to us. Our network is fairly large. We can find them the help they need or the assistance that they require, regardless of what the topic is.
So if
we're
it's-
there to cover all aspects,
If
all
it's-
wounds, not just physical.
Yeah, if it's not your subject matter
We'll find
experience, you'll work. Yeah, that's like
Exactly.
what we do with Veteran Strong. We find those individuals that can best help them.
Absolutely.
In the given situation. So, well, that's good.
Yep.
I've come across a few organizations, and I won't say organizations, I'll say individuals who are advocates for veterans, but they're like, oh, if you're not wartime, I can't help you. And they won't even, sometimes I've heard they won't even talk to people. I'm like, that's just not right. So it's always good to know that you'll wrap around.
No.
They wear the uniform, so you wrap around them. and
Every guardian
whatever
has a desire to help this community. So whatever it's going to require, whether it's just face-to-face conversation, a shoulder to cry on, maybe a buddy to have a beer with,
Yep.
or if you actually need something tangible, we'll find it. We can't provide it either due to our abilities or the legal requirements for the 501c3. We'll find someone who will.
Okay, good.
And you said something I picked up on, that not all wounds are physical.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's another thing that we deal with on here. We try to deal with mental health issues, equine therapy, other topics like suicide prevention and stuff like that. Not all, and it's important for the public to know that not all wounds are physical. Vast majority, in some cases, they're not physical.
No, they are not.
You recently had your annual recipient dinner.
We did.
Can you tell us about that and how it went?
Do you want to answer that one, or you want me to continue?
So
Well, what is the recipient dinner?
Yeah,
We'll
what
start
is
there.
it?
What is the
We'll start
recipient dinner?
So the recipient dinner is event that we put on for whoever our recipient is that year. So this year we had it catered, which was really nice. But we put together basically like a slideshow. We invite all of our sponsors and people that have donated. It's a public event, so everybody shows up. Everybody can sit down, have a really nice meal together, and then we talk about our recipient. So before we have the dinner, we sit down with our recipient, usually the CEO, and we talk about their service as much as they're willing to talk about. If it's too much, that's okay. We're totally going to respect that, right? But if they're, ready, willing, and able to, we chat with them. We figure out their story and kind of what they went through, and if they have a need that we're filling, we sit there and we talk about how we are able to fulfill that needs. We show everybody how their, funds were used and appreciated and needed, really. So it's kind of just like it's a wrap up of our end of our fiscal year. Let's talk about what we did this year. Let's talk about our goals for next year, how we're going to do better, and let's celebrate our individual recipients.
It's the culmination of our entire year. So every fundraising event that we might do in the process, everything leads up to that moment.
Yeah.
So picking one combat wounded veteran within the state that we felt that was in need and making sure that they're provided for. It's a pretty magical time. Like it is to be there and witness such joy and such happiness, and the wave of relief that you can see with the family.
Yeah.
That they don't feel like they're walking on pins and needles anymore. So it's a great thing. I encourage anybody who ever wants to come out to let us know, and we can provide the information for that.
Where was it located this year?
The Bosram Moose Lodge, I think is where we do that every year.
Okay.
So.
How was the turnout?
It was decent. A little smaller this year because a lot more people seem to be traveling now that we're done with COVID-19 and we're kind of moving away from that. But I'll tell you what, our recipient, Mr. Maurice Bodine, was as happy as can be. Everything from the food to the dessert afterwards, to the company had to playing Creedence Clearwater Revival, which apparently he landed in Vietnam while listening to some of their songs. So he was very excited to see that.
It was during that time.
So
It was during that time.
but that's the most important thing. Is that the whole entire thing is for them. So we want to make them.
Was it a surprise?
No, he very much knew
He
it was
knew.
coming. So, but didn't matter at all. He still loved being there. So.
That's good. I mean, it's Basra. I mean, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we can make it up to.
We would love to have you. We really
Yeah,
would.
that'd be fun. Now, what are some plans for the future of the organization, and let everybody know how they can get involved with either one of you can take.
So
do you
plans
got
for the
going?
future, we're hoping to really expand. So this past fiscal year was when we branched out into Rhode Island, which was huge. They're doing some really awesome, really exciting things out there. They're kind of making CT look a little silly, so we got to get together. But they're doing awesome. But
I see a challenge coming on.
yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's
But that's
good.
good. Yeah.
What we want. We're competitive by nature.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything better to be competitive about than helping people. So
We're,
Now this goes on YouTube, so it's everywhere. It's not just in Connecticut. For our Rhode Island friends, where is it located?
So-
Is
the president, they travel the whole state and put on
Okay.
events. So they're really good about making sure that it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you turn around, there's almost an event every weekend, it seems like at this point. So getting busy and getting out there and seeing everybody and shaking hands.
yeah, you don't. With the Guardians, you don't have to worry about where we're located.
Yeah.
We're gonna come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got you. We'll come out. Doesn't matter how far we got to drive. We'll be there. So.
So I think there's no physical office
No.
for people
No.
to come to or
No, we're very
catch up with
very
you.
grassroots. if
Okay.
you will.
website?
Yes, we have
We
a
do have that.
website. We have a Facebook page.
Were you able to give that to our director?
We were able to give the website. I don't know if you want me to say it right
Yeah,
now.
I'm sure they'll put it on air at some point.
Yeah, there it is right there.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay.
But yeah, on our website, you can find everything that you need to know about us, from our mission statement to who the actual Guardians are. So each one of the individual committee members, that you can see our backgrounds, as well as to some of the other projects that we work on. and some of the people that we've helped over the years. We have some interviews that we did with past recipients. You can actually see and listen to some of the people that we helped. So it's kind of like a personal review from them. So
It's rewarding listening to the
It is.
the success stories. There we go.
What are some, you said you do fundraising throughout the year. What are some fundraisers you have coming up?
Well, I don't think we have any fundraisers specifically coming up, but
Okay.
we do like to tag along at a lot of events.
Okay.
I think the one that we have coming up soon is Vets Rock at the Mohegan
Mohegan
Sun.
Sun.
We'll be there. We like to be there every single year. So if anybody's out there at the time and they want to stop by, they can say hi to us. We'll talk about everything that we do there as well. Maybe make some jokes, make you laugh. That's what we like to do.
No,
No, never.
When is
that's
Vets-
important.
Well, let everyone know when Vets Rock is, because some people may not know
On November 11th, on Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Yep. No better time to do it.
And can I put a plug in for Vets Rock? It's a big resource fair. Save a Suit is there, which if no one knows about it, Save a Suit provides suits and career clothing for men and women, veterans that need it. And do they have? They used to do breakout sessions. I don't know if they still do that anymore for like seminars or classes. I think it's more
I'm not
just
sure.
a
I know
resource.
they used to.
Just more the resource fair. So think of stand down, but at the casino.
Correct.
There's also a big event coming up at the Civic Center.
Oh, that I didn't know.
The hockey game.
Oh, okay.
Eric put it out. I just saw it on Facebook.
With irreverent. That's with
Yes.
irreverent one.
Yes.
Yeah. Website.
Website.
Can you say it again? And we'll put it back up.
www.gotph.org. It's fairly simple.
Real simple.
And honestly, if you
viewers
just
can
Google GOTPH, we're probably going to be the first thing that pops up.
see. Good. The last one was where can the
Okay.
audience?
Yeah. Well, they're going to be at Vets Rock
Yep.
next. What do you do fundraisers during the year to?
We do. Our biggest fundraiser of the year is called the Guardians of the Purple Heart Poker Run. So it's a 5-stop motorcycle event where we start at Mike's Famous Harley Davidson because they're so kind of us to offer us their facility and make sure that we're there. We start there, have a nice breakfast, and then we stop at 5 different business locations. They're all supporters of the Guardians of the Purple Heart. And each time you stop at one of the locations, you draw a card and take it with you. And at the final location, which is the Bosmer Moose Lodge, also the place where we have our recipient dinner, we take the best poker hands from those and people win prizes. We do raffles, we have live music, food, you name it. It's a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a blast.
When is that usually held around? So people can
I believe
plan.
it's in July.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
usually June, July area.
Yeah, we have to juggle it around sometimes because we want to make sure we don't overlap other major events that might be going on. at
We'll
the
make
time.
sure we have you back before then.
before then.
And then
We'd love to be here.
Now, did you used to do a tattoo fundraiser?
Yes, we did.
We did.
Is that coming back?
So it's a little difficult. We may or may not be able to. We're looking for a different shop to do it with because unfortunately the shop we used to go to is no longer open. So that was an event that was very loved. But we'll see. Hopefully
Okay.
we have our fingers
Yeah,
crossed for that.
it was near and dear to our heart, but we're not giving up on it just quite yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just trying to find a new location, people who'll be willing to work with us.
that came out
and-
last year, didn't it?
We did it for a couple of years.
Yeah, we did it for a couple
Yeah.
of years.
Okay, that's. I mean, we're going to go into a second part in this series. We told the viewers that there's so much to talk about. I know Seth, you're going to be back,
I will be back.
Yeah.
and Nick, your husband's going to be back.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll let the folks meet him. So you want to talk about something that's actually important news on the center.
So news on Veterans Strong Community Center is we are back in the Bristol City Hall. As of this taping, not unpacked, but just call ahead because we are back in City Hall. So that's a change of address for
And
us.
today is October 30th, 2023. We always have to do that because they do repeat these shows.
Yep.
With that being said, we've got less than a minute left. It goes by fast. It was an absolute honor to have you.
Oh, we appreciate it.
We look forward to having you back again. We look forward to the second part. I mean, it's just great information to get out there. You can take the YouTube clip and put it on your website.
Oh, we'd love
That
to.
will be out in about a week or so. And of course, it will be aired on Comcast and Frontier throughout the state within a couple weeks. So with that being said, thank you. Thank you. It was great to have you here. Oh, that's right. You know, we came up with a new spot. It's called a booker position. We didn't realize what that was until just a little while, a couple days ago. Kat was looking it up. I want to give a shout out to Kat Zigwolf. She's been on this as a fill-in a co-host. The last few, actually the last 6 shows, Kat has gotten the guests. Without her, we probably wouldn't have had these shows. So she played an extremely important role. Kat, thank you. Thank you very much. And whenever the viewers see on the credits Booker, that is a technical title used, and it's an honor to have Kat as that person. So thanks, Kat. Okay, that's all the time we have. I'm getting that word, so we do have to go. I want to thank the viewers for watching. Till the next time on the Veterans Corner, good night.
Right.
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lynn.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the Crack of Dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.